Alrighty, guys, so this is the next chapter where we're going to be exploring material layers. Now, basically, if you're coming from a cycles background, you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, right? So, let me explain. Basically, layers is like if you made one texture, you just stack it up onto another, and vice versa. You could just stack them endlessly as much as you want to. But the thing is, how are we going to be using this in our practical examples? So, first of all, let's explore what are layers. So, if we come over here to material layer in our universal texture, and by the way, I did set up like a ground texture that I found on Blender Kit over here, and this is the texture that I'm going to be using, brown ground, just to demonstrate what I'm trying to say. So, if I come over here to materials and click on this button, this menu will pop up, or should I say extension. So, this is the material layer group, and we have like two slots right now, and you could add in like up to 16 at a time, 8. So you could add in like 8 at a time, and what you could do is just make a duplicate of it and just connect it as much as you want. So like we have 8 channels over here, 7 over there, so 8 and 7 like 15, and you could add in like 8 more if you need them. But hey, I mean, I'm not a psychopath, I'm not gonna be adding that much. So let me just remove all of these and we'll focus with layer 1. So just remember one thing, layer 1 is gonna be the one that's gonna be on the top, and layer 2 is gonna be the one that's gonna be under it, then the third, then the fourth, and then your whole material. So yeah, just a thing you need to keep out on when you're working with layers. So what layer options do we have? If we come over here, we have the diffuse layer, the material layer group, which we've already seen what it does, the metallic layer, the sheen layer, the specular layer. And also we have a switcher, like if we want to suddenly switch from one material layer to another, you could also do that. So let's explore them. Diffuse, we could just add in like a diffuse color over here. Let's say if we want to make it yellow. The roughness, we could pull it up. And let's say we want this to be a bit patchy, we could add in a noise. And by the way, you might be thinking, dude, this guy is using noise and he's not telling us. Calm down. There's gonna be a whole dedicated chapter after this. So we'll take our noise, plug it in, and it did something. What did it do? It actually isolated it. So just to demonstrate that even further, what we could do is add in a gradient map. Alrighty guys, so we got our second layer of the group, which is the metallic layer, and obviously if we just enable it, boom. Kind of looks like tinfoil. Do you want me to do a tutorial on that as well? Obviously it's the same thing like the metallic material that we just explored. The thing is, it's just in layers, and let's say if we want to use like a mask between it, just to give us like, okay, this part should be metallic and this part should be stone, we could do that as well. Let's say if I just give it like a fractal noise and just plug it in. Yep. And we could just crunch it out with a gradient map. Yep, something like that. So yeah, we got like a few metal parts going around with like stone over here. So you could do pretty wild things with this. And then let's come over towards the sheen layer. Obviously this is gonna give you like sheen on, and sheen is pretty explanatory. Like you get this colored halo effect all around your product or character or whatever you're doing. Then comes the specular one. This basically takes your whole texture and just adds like a glass wrapping around it. So just to demonstrate that even better, I'll put the transmission to, let's say, like blue, and the specular to yellow. and plug this into the opacity. So yeah, you could combine like multiple materials just like that. And obviously these layers are the same like the materials that we just explored. So yeah, it's a pretty simple concept to grasp on. And now coming towards the material layer switch. What does that do? If we plug in our glass over here, and I'll just drag this out from layer 1 and just add in another layer. For example, I'll take like a diffuse layer and just plug this in. So what I could do is just type in a value and I could easily just switch it. So you could probably animate this if you need to. Alrighty, so let's do a quick recap. What did we learn? So we basically explored layers and I actually showed you guys how simple it is to use. And now what we're going to be doing in the next chapter, we're going to be exploring the image-based materials that we could use in Blender Octane. So yeah, be prepared for that.